Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Well, I hope you are, folks, because I have a great album review for you. So let's go. Welcome to the Matthew Street channel. I am your host, Matthew Street. Truly happy you're here. And folks, wow. Wow is all I can say. I know you know what this is about already because it's a review and you see the thumbnail and you see the title and all that. But I got to give a little bit of build up here. I got to, drama, theatrics and all that. Because, folks, I'm reviewing a compilation tribute album today. Now, let me start with this. Compilations, let's be honest, they can be truly difficult to get a handle on sometimes. It's so difficult for a label or an artist to do a tribute album for a particular musical singer, songwriter, artist, group, whatever, because there's so many hits and misses. There's so many ways to miss. And to my mind, there's only one way to truly hit it. A lot of miss opportunities where you can totally go off the mark, but only one way to hit that bullseye. Because here's what usually happens with compilations. You get the ones where they're too close. I've got tons of Beatles compilation tribute albums, and I got a few where it's too close. They try so hard to match the arrangement, the sound, and the spirit of the Beatles original. I'm just using the Beatles as an example here. That you just don't want to listen to it more than once because you go, all right, yeah, they did a great job. Playing's good, singing's good, but it sounds so close to the original arrangement, I might as well just go listen to the Beatles version. Why am I going to listen to this one? And it's the same with other groups too. I have a lot of compilations where they're great compilations. The people did a great job paying tribute to the artist, but it's so close to the original arrangement that you go, I don't know. There might be a few hits on it where they got it close to the way I like it, but there's a lot of times it's too close to the original arrangement. Or what else happens is they go so far off the original arrangement, so far in left field, you're like, I hardly recognize this song anymore. I don't want to listen to this. I want to listen to the original. That happens on compilations. So you can get a mixture. You get some hits, a few here, a few there. You get a lot of misses. You get too close to the original arrangement, too far removed from the original arrangement. It's hard. It's hard to do it, folks. And it happens. It's so many great compilations out there, but to hit it, to get it in the bullseye is very, very difficult. Well, I'm here to tell you, there is one series of compilations where they're hitting the bullseye, folks. It's out there. It's available. And I'm talking about Gem Records. Marty Scott, president of Gem Records, came up with a wonderful concept back in 2020. He produces and directs each one of these compilations. We are up to number 5 already. And folks, they're hitting the marks because he's got great artists in his stable of artists at Gem Records who are producing great renditions of these songs, these tribute songs on these compilations, because what they're doing is they're hitting that sweet spot, that hard spot to get where they're retaining the spirit of the originals, yet there's just enough unique spin on their renditions that keeps me coming back for more and more again. And I love it, folks. They're doing it at Gem Records. Now, it started in 2020. Marty realized it was the 80th anniversary of John's birth. John would have been 80 in 2020. And so he decided to do a series called Gem Records Celebrates. And in 2020, the first one came out, Gem Records Celebrates John Lennon. A great, great album. And up till now, hint, hint, this was my favorite. Albeit, I love them all because they're all great. A year later, in 2021, another great one came out. And I say this is my favorite. It's my sentimental favorite, folks, and because I love the Beatles. My fandom of the Beatles. John's right there, and I just love the Beatles, so that's why that was my favorite all these years. However, I love this one too. In 2021, Gem Records celebrates Brian Wilson. Great, great album, great release. Again, they hit all the marks. They hit the bullseye. 2022, Gem Records celebrates Pete Townsend. hit all the marks again. I love this one. And last year, 2023, Gem Records celebrates Ray Davis from the Kinks. Folks, Gem Records did it. They did it. A series here that is well worth your time and effort, folks, because they are great. Great artists performing great songs in a great way. So I'm saying to myself, what's coming this year in 2024? Well, you know already from the thumbnail. There it is, folks. Gem Records celebrates, can you see, make sure you get that good. Gem Records celebrates Jagger Richards. Folks, this is absolutely fantastic. It is out this Friday, May 31st, CD, streaming, and a beautiful purple limited edition vinyl. And go to the Allan C Records channel. He just did a seal to reveal today on the purple vinyl. I'll put the link below so you can see the vinyl, okay? But folks, they did it. They've done it. Mastered by Kurt Ryle from the Gripweeds. Any of you who watch my channel know how much I love the Gripweeds. Well, Kurt from the Gripweeds, he does all the mastering. He helps with putting this together with Marty. He helps with, arranging the cuts, the songs on here with Marty. Marty's the producer and the director, but Kurt is a big hand in these compilations, and he does a fantastic job at the House of Vibe studio in New Jersey. You got Anthony Parisi, he's done 4 out of the 5 cover artworks for these albums. So kudos to Anthony for a great job. Anthony Parisi Studios, 4 out of the 5 covers. John Borak, contributing editor of Goldmine Magazine, does the liner notes. He does a fantastic job. And folks, what else I like about this is it's a perfect mix of well-known Rolling Stone songs along with more obscure Rolling Stone songs. And that's great to have, folks, because you want that familiarity when you hear a song and done in a very cool, unique way and go, yeah, all right, I like that. But then you get the deep cuts, the songs maybe you haven't heard in a while or maybe never heard, and you go, wow, that's great. And I just think it's a perfect mixture here on Gem Records celebrates Jagger and Richards. The sequencing here is great. It flows nicely. And you want to go back to it over and over again. That's what I love about this one, and I love about this series is that it's just like listening to a brand new rock and roll or power pop album. If you didn't know it was, Jagger Richards songs or the other artists' songs, you'd say to yourself, oh, this is a great power pop album. And then you have to pinch yourself and go, oh, no, these are artists on the Gem label paying tribute to them, and they're doing a heck of a job because, like I said, they hit the sweet spot. They hit the bullseye, folks. None of these arrangements are so close to the original that you go, I'd rather hear the original. And none of them are so far whacked out of the original that you go, what the heck's that? I don't want to listen. They got the sweet spot. They got the spirit of the original, but the essence of these particular artists are also inserted, making it a unique, fun, great listening experience. Now, folks, let me go through some of this, though. Well, let me say this. This could be my favorite one right now. I'm telling you, folks. It was the Lennon one, and the sentimental favorite because of the Beatles, John Lennon. Love all the others. But this, wow, the sequencing and the way it flows and the songs selected by the artists and how they perform them, I think this is my favorite right now. So, folks, I'm giving it right now a high thumbs up and high Matthew Street recommendation. But let's go a couple of tracks real quick. You get the High Frequencies on here doing You Can't Always Get What You Want, which was on Let It Bleed in 1969. And Lisa Michaels, who's been on the Gem label for a while, is the leader, singer of the High Frequencies. They do a beautiful oral, sonically beautiful version here, folks. It's got the spirit of the original, but it just sounds so wonderful. The vocal layers that they're putting on here, the instrumentation, it's beautiful. That's all I'm going to say. It's a great A. It gets an A. You have the Gold Needles doing Let's Spend the Night Together, which was a single along with the same flip side to Ruby Tuesday, or Ruby was the flip side to Let's Spend the Night Together. And folks, fabulous version. Again, punchy, moving fast, rocks a little harder than the original, but still retains that spirit of the original, which I love. You got Jonathan Pushkar on here doing Don't Stop, which is a really cool track because it's an obscure 2002 song, which was on the compilation album, the 40th anniversary album by the Stones. What was it called, that album? 40 Licks? Yeah, 40 Licks. 40 Licks. It was on 40 Licks in '02, and it was a single at the time. And Jonathan puts a very cool power pop spin on Don't Stop, and it draws you right in. If you didn't know it was a Stone song, you think it's a very cool, brand new power pop song from 2024. You got the Weaklings doing Rocks Off from Exile on Main Street, and they do a punchy rockin' version. Kudos to the Weaklings. Then you get one that's so rocking on this album. The Sins do Star Star from Goat's Head Soup, 1973. And folks, you know, it's got some naughty words in it and all that, but it is such a rocking, cool track. Joan Jett covered it back in the day. It was like a bonus cut on one of her albums. And I love the Stones version. And Joan Jett's is okay, but it's a little antiseptic for me, a little corporate, a little overly clinical, I guess. I love Joan, but it's a little clinical, her cover of it. But the Sins retain the spirit of the original. It's down and dirty, raw, rockin', star, fabulous. Cindy sings great. God, Henry's guitar playing is great on it. And you got Dave Hall on bass and Mike on drums. A great version by the Sins. All right, then you got the Gripweeds doing two songs. There's only two artists that get two songs on the album. One of them is the Gripweeds. They do Dandelion and the flip side single of Dandelion, We Love You, from 1967, which is so cool. I'm not sure. I think Dandelion was the B-side, and We Love You was the Stones' A-side in '67. It was a single, and what a cool thing that they chose that single, both sides, to cover, because you know the Gripweeds, if you know them. They do it fabulous. Dandelion is sweet and tender and punchy. We Love You is psychedelic and sonically great. Listen to Kurt's drumming on We Love You. Yeah, and come back and tell me that he's not one of the best rock and roll drummers out there today. Absolutely fabulous. Kudos, salute to Kurt for that. And what I like about this song is on the original, if you have Beatles trivia here, John Lennon and Paul McCartney sang background vocals on both of these tracks when the Stones recorded them in '67. So that's a cool little tidbit. Nick Puente and the Complicated Men do Ruby Tuesday, which is off Between the Buttons in the United States. It was a single in the UK with Let's Spend the Night Together. I think it was a single here too, yeah. But it's on Between the Buttons here in the US. Ruby Tuesday, Nick and the boys do a great, beautiful job on Ruby Tuesday. They add a little punch to it, but they keep that tender, beautiful side of it. Love it. Great job, Nick and the guys. Paul Collins, the great Paul Collins, the Beat, Paul Collins Beat, whatever you want to call it. He does one off the self-titled Rolling Stone album, England's Newest Hitmakers from '64, Tell Me. And he makes it a power pop tour de force. It's fabulous. Tell Me is great. Thank you, Paul Collins. Airport 77s do Too Tight, which is on Bridges to Babylon from '97. And this version is so cool because it's that typical Airport 77's power popish new wave style. And it's got a vibe to it that reminds me of the Cars. All right. See, I tried to put the R in there. I didn't say Cars. I could have. I said Cars. So I'm trying. All right. No, but seriously, folks. Wow. Too Tight by Airport 77s has a Cars vibe to it. New wave vibe, power pop. They are such a great, unique band. Their sound is so cool, and I love it. Great version by the Airport 77s. You get the Anderson Council doing two songs. They do Citadel from their Satanic Majesty's Request in '67, and they're doing Connection from Between the Buttons from '67, and both are fab. Absolutely fabulous, folks. I love the Anderson Council, one of my favorite bands of all time. I love them. And they rock, and they retain the spirit. Again, I'm saying it over and over, but they retain that spirit of the two original songs, but yet they add that punchy Anderson Council swagger to it, and I love it. So Thank you, Anderson Council. And last but not least, probably one of my favorites, if not the favorite of mine on this album, is the Midnight Callers, track 1, doing Jumpin' Jack Flash, which is a very well-known song. It was a non-album single by the Stones in '68. But folks, they put a spin on this thing. First of all, it's punchy as heck. This thing comes out tour de force, full-blown, in your face. It rocks. It's got a listen to Julian's drums on Jumpin' Jack Flash. The man is on fire, pounding, unbelievable. Marley's bass playing, fabulous. Chris's guitar playing and singing. Martin singing and guitar playing. It's just unbelievable. But the thing that really shocked the heck out of me and then pulled me right in was they have a guest saxophonist. Who knew? The Midnight Callers with brass on one of their albums. They're 2 guitars, bass, and drums, born and raised. And yet it works so well. And the saxophonist is David Leon. Kudos to David Leon. David, if you're out there watching this, great job, my friend. A+. David Leon adds this saxophone solo to Jumpin' Jack Flash, which screams, howls, screeches. It's just, it'll knock your socks off. It's just, you're like melting. You know, it's just, it's so intense. It melts you. It's just like, I can feel your eyeballs just dripping out of your sockets. It's so good and so screaming and I love it. So, folks, check out all these tracks. Midnight Callers, David Leon doing Jumpin' Jack Flash, all the other artists here. Folks, this is a keeper. This is a keeper. And I'm waiting for my purple vinyl to come in, which I ordered from Amazon, or typical Amazon. They never, I was hoping to get it early, but I didn't. Folks, this Friday, May 31st, Gem Records is celebrating Jagger Richards. Get it, folks. You won't be sorry. A+ from Matthew Street. Could be my favorite in the entire series. I absolutely love it. Adore it, adore it, adore it. Thank you to all of you for being here. I'm going to head out now and I wonder what Gem Records will do next year. Wonder what artist it will be. I don't know. Could be, maybe it's time to go back to an American artist. Maybe we'll stick with a British artist. Maybe we'll go with another artist from another country. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I don't have the answers to these intricate questions. Only Marty Scott, president of Gem Records, does. So ask him. Bye-bye.